Now, the online retailer Amazon has told this programme it's expanding its operations in Manchester, Edinburgh, Cambridge and Bristol, creating more than 1,000 jobs. It comes as new research suggests 9 in 10 of online shoppers regularly buy something from Amazon. The market research company Mintel asked 2,000 online shoppers about their habits with Amazon. 70% said they use Amazon at least once a month, while just under a fifth buy something every week. Well, our reporter Jess Quayle has been to one of Amazon's largest fulfilment centres in Doncaster to see how it works.
Just tell me a little bit about where we're standing. It's a huge warehouse, really. We've got massive stacks of products looking like dominoes. It's absolutely huge in here.
What you can see around you is the area where we receive the products in, both things that we sell and things from our marketplace sellers who sell through Amazon. And then as you turn around and look around the building, you can see where we're picking and packing those items and then shipping them out to the customers.
This fulfilment centre opened a couple of years ago and is the size of 15 football pitches. You can find TVs, kayaks, pet food and nappies piled on its shelves. Every shift, several hundred people work here, driving forklift trucks, packing boxes and running machinery. Mark Hemming, the Regional Operations Director, says it's part of the company's expansion plans.
We've added more buildings even since I joined. You know, we've got 17 fulfilment centres now. I think we were at 6 or 7 when I joined, and we've announced 3 that we're building this year in the UK.
Analysis from the research company Global Data suggested a third of all the money spent online in the UK in 2017 went through Amazon's tills. And at a time when high streets are struggling and big name shops are closing, the idea of more warehouses like this and more online capability won't be welcomed by everyone. Mark says they're simply answering customer demand.
It's all about really customers. What do customers want? And you won't change that. You know, we're a very small portion of UK retail. You know, we're not big at all in real terms.
We're roughly how big you
about
are?
2% of UK retail. So, you know.
And there's a lot of criticism coming your way though, isn't it, despite that 2%?
But the reality is, some of those high street retailers, Amazon complements their physical store by allowing them to sell online.
It's true that roughly half of this warehouse also provides storage for Amazon Marketplace. That's a service they offer to businesses who want to sell through their online site. Companies pay a fee so that Amazon will list and ship their products. Nick Carroll is on the retail research team at Mintel. He says the creation of the marketplace made commercial sense.
It was seen as a very bold move, but in Amazon's thinking was, well, if there's going to be people in the market that are going to undercut us, they might as well be selling through our website. And obviously Amazon will take a slight cut in that. And it gives it an unparalleled long tail of products. And I think what we've seen over the last couple of years is Amazon being far more vocal about its support of smaller businesses.
This is Lavinia, the founder of the small business Lavolio. This is her family.
I'm one of 6.
This is her grandmother.
She taught me how to cook.
This is her shop in London. This is her shop on Amazon.
I went from finance to confectionery. My friends think I'm brave. I think I'm crazy.
Lavinia Davolio makes handmade Italian sweets. She started her business 5 years ago after losing her job as an investment banker in the financial crisis.
My company fired 4,500 people in one day. I basically stood in front of this shut door, and I remember taking this decision that I was actually going to be devoted to something I'm passionate about.
Lavinia coats her chocolates with hard sugar using a traditional Italian method. They cost between £5 and £20. She has her own website, but also sells them wholesale and via Amazon Marketplace.
So you can see once you open it that it's kind of like a nest of different colors and different shapes. Every bite is actually a surprise, so you don't know what's inside.
Lavinia's business has been breaking even for the past 3 years as she reinvests into her company. It's cheaper for her to pay a fee to Amazon than it is to sell wholesale to other shops.
It's one of the biggest challenges of having a small business, that you're competing with giants and nobody knows what you do or who you are. So it's incredible the reach that Amazon gives you. It's been growing our internet sales, our online sales, to a point where nowadays we do more than 50% of our revenues directly to customers.
Thanks to that revenue, Lavinia has now also opened a shop in London. Stories like hers seem to contradict the idea that Amazon can be blamed for shops closing on the high street. Louise Stewart is from the Federation of Small Businesses. She says the reality is that Amazon is just one part of the pressures they're facing.
I think there's no doubt that we've changed the way we shop in recent years, and Amazon is part of that. But there are lots of other factors, because small firms are dealing with spiralling business rates, high rents, increasing employment costs, the challenges of expensive town centre parking. So it's a sort of triple whammy, if you like. It's not just one factor.
Business rates are a big issue within retail, not least because companies like Amazon end up paying less simply because they can operate in out-of-town locations. I asked Mark Hemming about that as we watched hundreds of boxes being shipped out for delivery.
From up these steps, you'll be able to see people packing the items, and then they come to this conveyor system.
This is a very, very, very long conveyor belt.
It is. You just walk up these steps so you can get a really good view.
Oh, yeah. We're actually quite high up now.
You can see the parcels coming down here, down those chutes, and it goes down to the bottom by a little spiral.
It reminds me of like an airport, the suitcases.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that as well.
Amazon has a business model that relies on kind of paying very little tax. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I can reassure you that, as you and I do, Amazon pays all the tax that it's supposed to do.
Do you have sympathy though for the people who will say that, you're not paying business rates, it's not fair on the high street?
Well, we definitely pay business rates. I think the last number I looked at was about 63 million. And again, it's
one of those as much.
It's one of those myths, right? Yeah, we pay the same rates that anybody would pay that's in the same kind of locations as we are. Where we actually need to be to what we do, and we say we pay the same rates proportionately as all of our neighbours.
Do you get frustrated about that sort of tax question?
Yeah, I get frustrated because our employees get frustrated. They say to me very often they know the truth, so they say, we know that's not true.
The truth is you do pay less.
Less than what is the reality? No, we pay the same as what everybody that's in the same kind of footprints as we pay pays.
I asked the Treasury about plans for a digital tax, and it says global giants with profitable businesses in the UK should pay their fair share towards supporting public services, but that it's an international issue that needs to be addressed on a global scale, and that's what's happening at the moment. Louise Stewart from the FSB says they're keen to make sure smaller businesses aren't unfairly hit.
The tax system so far has failed to keep pace with the digital economy. It's led to a situation whereby small retailers on the high street are hit with soaring business rates, while big multinational online-only retailers with out-of-town warehouses benefit from lower business rates and falling corporation tax. So it's not a level playing field at the moment. We would like to see that playing field levelled. Philip Hammond has said the Amazon tax would be aimed at big businesses, but it's important to make sure that that is what happens, because otherwise we could see small businesses being hammered yet again.
Online shopping has changed retail completely, and there's no going back. Nick Carroll from Mintel says if it wasn't Amazon, it'd be someone else. They simply found a niche and made the most of it, just like Lavinia Davolio is trying to do.
If this model works, we will have the opportunity to expand and open potentially more shops. But I will only do it if I know that I can afford it.
Lavinia Davolio rattling her sweets and speaking to our reporter Jess Quayle. And there are public tours of 8 of Amazon's giant warehouses, including that Doncaster one. Now, new guidance for the NHS means that